The following program is a presentation of the Civil War Broadcasting Network, available on the free YouTube channel General Grant by himself or Dr. E.C. Fields, on the Facebook page Kurt Fields as General Ulysses S. Grant, and on various other social media. The E headquarters and campsite is generalgrantbyhimself.com. This program is one of those presentations in the ongoing series General Grant Looks at the American Civil War, wherein General Grant looks at a person, place, or event in the Civil War for reflection and observation. Permission to copy and distribute is given and indeed encouraged. Remember, you are the future of our past. And now, in the campaign to take Forts Henry and Donelson in Tennessee, General Grant looks at letters on February the 9th of 1862. I'm Brigadier General Ulysses S. Grant, and you find me here in my headquarters tent at Fort Henry on the Tennessee River in Tennessee. And I've taken the time to write a letter to my dear sister Mary, and I've also written a communication to a Colonel John Cook back at the headquarters in Cairo, Illinois. That's not so pleasant. But I wrote this letter to Mary. Fort Henry, February the 9th, 1862. Dear sister, I take pen in hand away down in Dixie to let you know that I'm still alive and well. What the next few days may bring forth, however, I can't tell you. I intend to keep the ball moving as lively as possible, and have only been detained here from the fact that the Tennessee is very high and has been rising ever since we have been here, overflowing the backland, making it necessary to bridge before we could move. Before receiving this, you will hear by telegraph of Fort Donelson being attacked. Yesterday, I went up the Tennessee River 20-odd miles, and today crossed over to near the Cumberland River at Fort Donelson. Our men had a little engagement with enemy pickets, killing 5 of them, wounding a number, and expressively speaking, gobbling up some 24 more. If I had your last letter at hand, I would answer it, but I have not, and therefore write you a very hasty and random letter simply to let you know that I believe you still remember me, and I am carrying on a conversation whilst writing with my staff and others. Julia will be with you in a few days, and possibly I may accompany her. This is barely possible, depending upon having full possession of the line from Fort Henry to Fort Donelson, and being able to quit for a few days without retarding any contemplated movement. This would not leave me free more than 1 day, however, so it's doubtful. You have no conception of the amount of labor I have to perform. An army of men, all helpless, looking to the commanding officer for every supply. Your plain brother, however, has as yet had no reason to feel himself unequal to the task, and fully believes that he will carry on a successful campaign against our rebel enemy. I do not speak boastfully, but utter a presentiment. The scare and fright of the rebels up here is beyond conception. 23 miles above here, some were drowned in their haste to retreat, thinking us such vandals that neither life nor property would be respected. USG. I got some disturbing news about activities going on in my absence from the or at the Cairo, Illinois headquarters about a couple of regiments and have had to take some definitive action. On February the 9th, this day of 1862, I sent this telegram to Colonel John Cook, commanding 3rd Brigade, 2nd Division. Colonel, some 200 or 300 men of your brigade have been out today, robbing and plundering most disgracefully. Some of them were of the 50th Illinois and some of the 7th, and no doubt other regiments were represented. I hope you will take active measures to ascertain what men have been out and report their names to me. Officers will be sent immediately and recommended for dismissal without trial, and non-commissioned officers will be reduced to the ranks and otherwise punished. Respectfully, your obedient servant, U.S. Grant, Brigadier General Commanding. The next day, on the 10th, this was sent out. General Field Orders Number 7 and issued by Captain John Rawlins, and it reads, the pilfering and marauding disposition shown by some men of this command has determined the General Commanding to make an example of someone to fully show his disapprobation of such conduct. Brigade commanders, therefore, will be held accountable for the conduct of their brigades, regimental commanders for their regiments, and company commanders for their companies. If anyone is found guilty of plundering or other violation of orders, if the guilty parties are not punished promptly, the company officers will be at once arrested, or if they are not known, the punishment will have to fall upon the regimental or brigade commander. Every offense will be traced back to a responsible party. In an enemy's country where so much more could be done by a manly and humane policy to advance the cause with which we have all so deeply at heart, it is astonishing that men can be found so wanton as to destroy, pillage, and burn indiscriminately without inquiry. This has been done but to a very limited extent in this command so far, but too much for our credit has already occurred to be allowed to pass without admonition. I was serious about what was going to happen, and with Field Order Number 7, I made company, regimental, brigade, and division commanders responsible for whatever activity took place under their command. That's all I have for you to discuss with you this day, February the 9th of 1862, in my campaign to take Forts Henry and Donelson. Hopefully the weather will clear up. It's been very rainy, Tennessee River rising, starting to turn cold, but we shall see. I intend, as I said to my sister Mary, I intend to keep the ball moving in as lively a manner as possible. I'm Brigadier General Ulysses S. Grant, commanding near Fort Henry, on the way to Fort Donelson. I bid you a fond adieu.